First stop is information about the Wright Brothers. That would be Orville and Wilbur. This is how is the bicycle like an airplane. It was here before. This was up in the air when you came in the door. They moved down here, and it's much bigger than I thought. They built a glider. They are flying the glider. The glider didn't have enough lift. Something wasn't working too well either. This one, the Wright Flyer. This is Orville Wright. I probably doesn't get enough credit. He designed the engine and did all the machine work to build it. 1905 was the first practical airplane. They turned their attention to getting a patent and a customer. They didn't fly again for 2.5 years. The 1904 Flyer no longer exists. The 1905 Flyer is in Dayton, Ohio. Going to Italy in 1909. These are some local police helicopters in Fairfax County, that's in Virginia. Remotely piloted civil aircraft now outnumber general aviation planes. Well, yeah, used foremost for aerial photography, and they're finding lots of other uses. Early years of air transportation. There's part of a airplane up there, and here's the United early plane. There's another one up there, and a great big one. We can probably see it better from above. By 1920, the mail and other things were going by air, but not passengers. In 48 hours, we had air travel and train travel. Combined, 48 hours. What a deal. She says, I'm simply amazed at the detail that's gone into this line. They give so much care and comfort and luxuries and an aero car to take you from plane to train for your night rides, and a map given to each passenger so he may study the country. Depression, these 4 companies dominated air transportation. First scheduled airline company lasted 3 months. They flew from St. Petersburg, Tampa. No wonder they only lasted a few months. Cost $5. Rolls Royce. It's a high bypass turbo fan. Has a large fan at the front of the engine that produces most of the thrust. This engine feeds your lounge in the rear of the cabin. This is on a Pacific Southwest Airlines. That's that airplane. Royce Dart turboprop engine, 1948. Ran a flight attendant uniform in the 60s. Look at that. This one's from PSA, 1971. White gloves, of course, there were no men. Airlines like Southwest issued revealing uniform featuring hot pants and mini skirts to attract businessmen. Oh my. In 1968, United hired a fashion designer, Jean-Louis, to create a stylish line of flight attendant uniforms. It was an occasion that called for a suit or a dress. I remember dressing up to get on an airplane. Not anymore. Hub and spoke system, which has its downfalls. You virtually can't go anywhere without having to transfer. Auckland, I've even heard of her. She set 8 world records for speed, altitude, and distance flying. She set more than 200 records. Looking at these planes from up above, there's United Airlines. Out there is TWA. They're gone. Eastern Airlines. They're gone. We used to fly them. It's a full-scale model of the Mariner 5, launched in 1967. It flew by Venus. Here we have the Clementine. I watched that launch from Vandenberg Air Force Base in Central Coast, California, near Lompoc. It was named Clementine because it was going to be lost and gone forever. The motorcycle making a big jump. That's Evel Knievel. And he's got a Harley Davidson XR750. He's described as a stunt performer. Black Hawk spy plane. Starship Enterprise from Star Trek. Got one of those sitting in my garage. These are airplanes that are considered Cold War fighters. 1964, the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird flew higher and faster than any Soviet fighter or missile. Cruising at Mach 3, it reached altitudes of 85,000 feet near the upper edge of the Earth's atmosphere. The fastest of all is this Black Hawk. Air racer. Most successful aircraft in air racing history. Dominated contest from 1991 until it was retired in 1999. Set 16 world speed records for its class. Early days of auto racing. And here we have Richard Petty's Pontiac. The racing stripes on Richard Petty's car may look cool, but they serve a purpose. The stripes help the driver determine the direction of the car during his spin. Their colors also help fans spot their favorite drivers. Glenn Curtis started racing bicycles with engines on them. Race car drivers are suited up for safety. Erin Sills, she has a land speed motorcycle record. Here's her motorcycle. She rode this BMW motorcycle to break a land speed record. She had 219.3 miles per hour, and this was out in the Mojave Desert in California. And then she rode the same bike to 3 more records at the Bonneville Salt Flats. One of the most successful Americans in the history of motor racing. Only driver to win the Indy 500, the Daytona 500, and a Formula One World Championship. Indianapolis 500 started in 1909. Back then the average winning speed was about 75 miles per hour. By 2013, it was up to 187 miles per hour. It's claimed to be the most prestigious racing event in America. The racetrack was crushed stone and tar, and then they put in brick, and it was then called the Brickyard, and they have asphalt pavement now, but it's still called the Brickyard. They have racing boats. We went from that to this. 67, Lee Taylor set a new world record of 285 miles per hour on a lake in Alabama. He died attempting to break the world speed record again in Lake Tahoe in 1980.